Aloha, my name is Dorien Viliamu. I am currently in my 5th year in architectural studies and I'm studying at the University of Auckland. So the name of the project is Uplift. It was done in my 2nd year, 2nd semester, and we did it in a group of 5. So there was myself, Izzat the Scucks, Yi the Hot Pot Master, Jawline Dennis, and Rosemary Dry Jokes. Back in 2nd year, we were tutored by a guy named Cameron Rowe, and the brief was to design a community centre in Avondale. His take was more on the nostalgic side, looking back in the history of what the people did, sort of draw from reference of some historic importance. We looked into the origins of Avondale, and you could walk around the streets and find some of these informational signs. And so in Avondale in the 1800s, there was a specific river that we drew inspiration from, and there was the Te Whao River. The Māori would heavily use this river mainly for transporting goods. They'd use it because there'd be a lot of food nearby, and so they built around this river, and that's one of the things we drew inspiration from. With initial concepts, sort of had to do our own research ourselves and then come together and combine all our ideas together. Avondale is famous for Dale the Spider. First site visit we went to, it was actually Dale's 15th birthday. I'm not too sure what that meant, but I drew inspiration from the spider in my initial concepts and sort of the web, because in West Auckland, where Avondale is situated, I feel a really community-based society, and so webs sort of linking within each other. And so this was one of the models that I created, just using the hot glue gun, having a lot of fun, going wild, and really just trying to create something that really connects. After a few weeks, we were put into our groups. We were coming together with a lot of different ideas, but one strong idea that we all came up with was this idea of appreciation and this idea of linking Avondale with its history. And so we did that through abstractions and through the use of material. And so, like I mentioned before, we used the Te Whao River as inspiration, but we also used their use of brick. So back in 1950s, Avondale was famously known for mass production of brick, and so we wanted to use the material of brick in new ways that haven't been seen before. To begin with, the people in my group were from different parts of the world, and so their diverse way of learning, they brought through different programs as well. The computer program part was mainly taken charge by myself and Yi. We would work through models together, but he was more SketchUp and CAD, and over here we're more using Rhino. Sort of combining these two programs was a bit of a mission at first, but yeah, eventually we got through in the end. So there were 5 people in the group, and instead of designing one whole building together, we all kind of just took one building and designed that one building for ourselves and tried to bring it all together through planning or circulation. It was a bit tricky trying to bring all these 5 different buildings together. We did it through circulation and planning, and we used like a timber undulating platform to combine everything. Quite a difficult task to do, because Avondale itself, our site, isn't completely flat. And so we're trying to figure out where steps go, where do we put ramps, how do people enter in specific buildings, and yeah, we spent a lot of time just trying to figure out how to connect all our 5 different buildings together. So the core idea was appreciation through its history, and we did that through abstractions. We did an undulating platform that kind of goes up and down. This is a 1 to 200 model. We had specific model makers. This is one building here. This was more like a station. We kind of whipped it up in the last few weeks. From memory, this was our community kitchen. This is our library. At the back there is a gym. This part here is that undulating platform inspired by the river. And we had this idea of kids playing on it, so just families can come and just sort of gather in this space here. So this was our community kitchen. This here, we wanted to give an idea of a floating brick or a floating facade. We saw this as a way brick has never been used before. We wanted to highlight the history of Avondale and the fact that they used brick, or they produce brick a lot. We try to create a brick facade. Learned a lot of new programs, learned how to really use V-Ray and Photoshop a bit better. Really proud of some of these renders. We had specific model makers and they did an awesome job with just sort of these sectional models that sort of open and close. Yeah, overall really proud of the final output of the whole design. On a scale of 1 to 10, I feel confident in saying that it was a good solid 10. Everyone just really pulled in for each other. There were fights, but not too big of fights. Yeah, everyone just really worked for each other and there was a good environment to be in. I think the best part of this project was definitely the process and the teamwork. We just had a lot of skilled people, hardworking, kind, considerate people. The culture was amazing. I think our work sort of reflected how well we worked together. The best part of it was definitely the teamwork. I don't think there's too many things because we're so proud of everything. But if we had more time, we'd like to work more on the 2D drawings. Our plans and sections and elevations weren't really up to date, or how we wanted it to look like. They were just quick and fast, do it quick before final crit. And yeah, so if we had more time, we'd like to improve the 2D drawings. So I've been part of some pretty awesome projects, but I think this project, just by a little bit, would be my favorite project out of my years at Archie, only because of the awesome people I got to work with and the team environment and the team culture. My last words are, keep up your people skills, good vibes only, compliment each other and mean it, because at the end of the day, whether you're working in architecture school or you're running your own firm, or even if you don't want to do architecture and you want to do something else, that's all good. At the end of the day, eventually you'll be working with people. If the team environment, the team culture really determines a big part of your happiness and success. And so, yeah, those are my last words. But that's an abstraction, and abstractions are abstract.